So in my video, I said, hey, Soul, you wanted the man so badly. Well, you got him. Be careful what you wish for, though, because he's about to put you through hell because Sincere is not a good person, right? Everybody translate that toward as me being so nasty towards Soul. I'm bullying her. People, I can't believe that I hate Soul so much. It's so disgusting. I didn't even fucking say anything about her. Since you guys want to talk about her, let's expand on her a little bit. Soul's in a shitty situation, right? Like, she is a bombshell, and this late, I mean, even though we're not this late, but in this season, because everybody's so coupled up and tight, this late coming in as a bombshell fucking sucks, right? Because your job and your sole purpose is to go in there and attempt to break up a couple, right? Like, she went in there with clear instructions for a couple to break up, right? And I would argue that she was given two couples to attempt to break up. And if she can't manage to break them up, then her time in the villa is done. Like, she has to do it. It's her job. I think she was sent in specifically for Casey and for Sincere. And Casey seems to not have taken the bait, but Sincere seems like was nibbling a little bit, and she is going to where it seems fruitful. She's like, this is where my odds are better at. I have a possibility to squeeze in here, so this is what I'm gonna do as a way to survive the show. So people making the argument like, hey, Soul's job is to break up a couple. It's not her fault that she kind of has to come in and be this homewrecker. It's what the show is asking of her. She has to do what she has to do to survive. And people should be nicer to her about it because, like, she has no other choice. I also think, and I talked about this last season, I think about it this season as well, where I remind people all the time that they are not allowed to have phones. They're not allowed to talk to their families. They're not allowed to talk to their friends. They're not allowed to get on the internet. They're not allowed to watch TV. They're not allowed to watch movies. They're not allowed to listen to music. They're not allowed to read books. They're not allowed to do anything in that villa but interact with the 10 people who are in that villa with them. So when one person is isolated from the rest of the group, when the rest of the group decides to ice out one person, that is extremely cruel because the person has nothing else they can use as a distraction, right? Like, these people in the villa, this is why they get so close so quickly, is because these people in the villa are your entire world. So when your entire world decides to ice you out and decides to silence you out, that is very, very isolating. That shit is very, very cruel. I made the argument last season when we were talking about Huda, when we were talking about Amaya, and I kept saying every single time that Ace weaponizes the entire house against one person, that shit is fucking cruel, and they shouldn't allow it, because how is that person supposed to survive days on end with the entire house giving them the cold shoulder, with the entire house essentially ignoring them? What are they supposed to do? Play with their toes for fucking 24 hours a day for days on end? So Soul going into the situation and feeling personally attacked because she is doing what the producers are demanding that she does, right? Because the producers are the ones who are demanding that she breaks them up, right? And essentially feeling like no one wants to talk to her, like everyone is treating her like a pariah in the house, right? Is isolating, is very jarring, right? I can understand why she would get emotional about that. I get that because it's very cruel and it's a hard experience to go through. But the problem that you guys are not willing to grapple with is that there is an and, right? Because we love nuance on this page. Two things can be true at once. It is true that Soul is just doing her job, and it's unfortunate that she has to face the repercussions of doing said job because it leaves a sour taste in people's mouths, and it's not her fault, right? But she has dealt with the consequences of it, and that sucks. And there were other ways she could have went about it so that she wouldn't have made as many enemies while she was doing it. She made choices that 100% made the situation in the house worse for her. When her and Sincere were kissing in Speakeasy, right? And Mel went up there. Why? If Soul's just doing what the producers are telling her to do, right? She's doing nothing wrong. She has nothing to feel bad about. This is a bombshell's job. She's just doing a bombshell's job. Why, when Melanie went up there, did she sneak her ass out of there and run to try and avoid Melanie if she was doing nothing wrong? This is not baddies. This is not Bad Girls Club. Melanie could not beat you up. So what were you so scared of? You're doing nothing wrong. Why were you sneaking around? What were you so scared about? What was the worst that Mel was going to do? Yell at you? Instead, you sneaked your ass out of there, then ran downstairs to the table, and the first thing you say in front of everybody in the house, including the other girls, is, well, nobody in here is boyfriend and girlfriend, so everyone's fair game, with an attitude. And you don't think that that rubbed all the girls in the house the wrong way? You don't think you essentially being like, I have zero respect for any of your connections and for also all the other women in this house, and I don't care, I'm going to do what I have to do. You don't think that that would have left a sour taste in their mouth? That would have had them all been like, because again, like I said, Jen was kissing Gabe, right? And everyone knew about that. No one had an eye to a Jen. Jen's not crying because she's being isolated from the house. Jen actually did such a good job taking Gabe from Beatrice that Beatrice got sent home. And no one had an eye to a Jen. Everybody's still friendly with Jen. Then Soul is up with Sincere talking. She spends the whole day talking with him, right? And Mel spends the whole day crying. Everybody knows it because the whole house is talking about it. Mel's been crying all day, right? If I'm in her position and I know that you and I talking is making this girl cry, I would immediately stop the conversation like, hey, you should go talk to her. Because why is she crying so hard? If you were telling me that you and her, yeah, you have a connection, but it's not that strong and you guys are very open, then why would she spend the whole day crying because you were talking to me? Something here doesn't smell right. Go talk to her. Go comfort her. Like, what's that about? Then when he is talking to Mel, her and Jen, she's staring at them talk and rolling her eyes and giving them dirty looks. You don't think that's kind of adding fuel to the fire? Why would you be doing that? Now, this one I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for and say that maybe it was the editing, right? But when they show Mel crying, immediately over, they pan over to Soul, and Soul snickering, laughing. Then when the whole thing with the pies happened, it's weird to me that everybody has an attitude with the girls over the thing with the pies when the girls didn't choose Soul to get pie. The boys were the ones choosing that, answering the questions and choosing her. So why they made it about Mel and how Mel's the problem, Mel is being so mean and none of the girls are being mean to her, why you made that about that when it was on the boys is beyond me. Number two, the boys had to talk in a group and decide and make a unilateral decision about who they were going to pick to pie. And they kept picking Soul. Mind you, none of the boys have really spent any time with Soul. The only one who spent time with her is Sincere. And Sincere, who she has an alleged connection with, should have been going up to bat defending her, being like, no, she's not shady, no, she's not funny, no, she would never do something like that, I know her well enough. Instead, Sincere stay quiet because he didn't give a single fuck, because he doesn't give a single fuck about her, and let her get pied over and over and over again. Which is why all the girls said, we feel bad that the boys keep picking her, but somehow or another this is reflected back on Mel and the girls, because the girls are being mean, the girls are being nasty towards her. How? Then Soul starts crying, right? Because she's upset and she she's had enough of being isolated and feeling all alone in the house. And Mel's one of the first people to be like, oh, she's crying, I feel really bad, I should probably pull her to the side and talk to her, I feel bad this is happening to her. Yet when Soul gets the guy, when she gets recoupled with him, what is she saying? Well, how do you feel about the recoupling? She could have easily said, I'm glad that we get a chance to explore a connection. She's watching Melanie cry. She could have easily said, I'm glad that he and I get to explore a connection, but I do feel bad that it comes at Melanie's expense. I wish it could have been any other way. Instead, she says, I'm glad that America saw that he and I have had a connection. No sympathy for Melanie when Melanie's crying, right? Even though Melanie has shown sympathy for her time and time again. And even in Melanie's response, when she stands up there, what does she say? She says, I'm glad that it's over. She said, I feel bad and I wanted to be with him and I wanted our connection to be stronger. She said, but I'm just glad that it's over. I don't want to do this back and forth anymore. I don't want us to be at odds. So I'm sorry, all of those things combined and making the argument that, hey, so yeah, you had Tigger Man, but you didn't have to be so nasty about it. There was another way you could have went about it. Doesn't make me a monster. Doesn't make this person who's bullying and picking on her. The way that you guys tie desirability to morality never ceases to amaze me. You all just like the way that Soul looks. And because you like the way that she looks, either because you want to date her or because you wish that you look like her, it is much easier for you to see the humanity in her and show her more compassion than you've shown any of the other girls this season. And it goes back to the argument that I make all the time when I'm talking about all different types of pop culture, and it is that you guys refuse to let people be human and be actual real people, and instead you like to fit them in tight little neat categories, right? And you make up your mind that every single person in the world is either a saint or a sinner. And once you have decided that someone is a devil, no matter what they do in every single circumstances, you are going to sensationalize their behavior, and you are going to be like, they are a nasty person, I can't believe this, and every single thing that they do is going to bother you, they are horrible, their intentions are horrible, I can't believe this person is a devil. And on the opposite side of that, like what we're seeing with the Soul situation, is that you decide that she is a sweet, innocent girl, and no matter what she does, she is not responsible. There's nothing she could have done about it. She cannot be held accountable for anything, and anybody who has any kind of critique, anything to say about her, if anybody says even a little bit like, you moved a little bit funny, it's, oh my God, you're bullying her, you're so nasty, how dare you treat her like that, this is so cruel. Like, I'm sorry, but you people are allergic to critical thinking. You are. And I'm not. I don't suffer from the disease. I'm so sorry. Like, my mind is always changing. Every single time I get new information, I assess that new information and I change my opinions on things. I don't promise so. I feel kind of neutral over most of the girls. Honestly, the only reason why I was even defending Mel so hard was because I felt bad about how disgusting you guys were all treating her. I was like, she's not that bad. I can't believe that you guys are all acting like this. And now I'm just doing the opposite. Hey, Soul is not that much of an angel. I can't believe so many of you are going so up for her, treating her like she's this precious little baby when like the evidence in front of us proves otherwise. I'm not asking you to crucify anybody. I'm asking you to use critical thinking skills.